If you're a woman over 60 and you've started to notice your energy waning, your desire fading, and your vitality feeling out of reach, I want you to pause and listen closely. Because what I'm about to share with you isn't a gimmick or another product to buy. It's a quiet, natural shift that may help restore something you thought was long gone. Imagine this. What if a handful of everyday foods, something as simple as 3 types of nuts, could gently awaken your energy, nourish your sensuality, and support the hormonal balance that often begins to shift in the later years of life? Hi, I'm Dr. Perriera. I've spent over 30 years as a physician, helping women like you feel more vibrant, more in control, and more connected to their bodies without relying on synthetic hormones or expensive treatments. And today, I want to tell you about 3 simple, nutrient-rich foods that can help you do just that. No fads, no fluff, just real nourishing support backed by sound biology and research. So if you're ready to feel more energized, more present in your body, and more confident in your femininity again, I encourage you to stay with me. And if this information resonates with you, please take a moment to like this video, share it with a friend, or leave a comment below. Your experience and voice help create a community where women can thrive together. Now let's begin with the first simple, powerful food one that has been shown to support circulation, cardiovascular health, and the foundational energy that so many women crave. Let's talk about walnut. Walnuts may seem like an unassuming snack, but they're one of the most effective foods you can reach for when it comes to supporting your heart and your vitality. I often call them the circulation nut because they work right at the root of so many concerns women over 60 face: energy, libido, even mental clarity. And that root is blood flow. You see, healthy circulation delivers oxygen and nutrients to every part of your body, from your brain to your skin to your pelvic area. As we age, our blood vessels naturally become less flexible, and our ability to produce nitric oxide, a key compound that keeps those vessels relaxed and open, starts to decline. This can lead to slower circulation, cooler extremities, lower energy, and yes, even decreased arousal. That's where walnuts come in. They're naturally rich in an amino acid called L-arginine, which your body uses to produce nitric oxide. When you eat walnuts regularly, you're essentially giving your cardiovascular system the tools it needs to stay elastic, responsive, and efficient. But that's not all. Walnuts are also packed with omega-3 fatty acids, which have been shown in research from the Mayo Clinic and other institutions to reduce systemic inflammation and support heart health, a key factor for aging women. Let me give you a real-life example. A woman I worked with, Carol, was 68 when she first came to me. She said, "Dr. Perriera, I just feel disconnected. I love my husband, but I feel like my body isn't responding anymore." She wasn't looking for a miracle, just a way to feel alive in her skin again. We made a small change. Each evening, about an hour before bed, Carol began adding a small handful of unsalted walnuts to her routine. Within 2 weeks, she reported feeling more energized in the morning. By the end of the month, she told me something had shifted, not just physically, but emotionally. "It's like I'm back," she said. "Like my body remembered how to feel good." This isn't about instant transformation. It's about giving your body what it's been quietly asking for: natural, steady nourishment. And walnuts deliver just that. But we're only getting started. The second nut I want to share with you takes everything walnuts offer and amplifies it in a slightly different but equally important way. This next one supports not just blood flow, but the very vascular tissue that allows you to feel pleasure, physical connection, and intimacy. Let's explore the surprising power of pistachios. When we think of intimacy, we often focus on hormones or emotion, but the truth is, arousal is deeply tied to vascular health. For many women over 60, the desire is still there, but the physical response feels muted or delayed. And that's not your fault. It's your body adapting to changes in circulation and sensitivity. That's why pistachios are such a remarkable food for women at this stage of life. These small green nuts contain many of the same benefits as walnuts, like L-arginine for nitric oxide production. But they also come with an impressive profile of antioxidants, healthy fats, and plant sterols that help your blood vessels stay flexible and responsive. In fact, studies published in the International Journal of Impotence Research have shown pistachios to significantly improve blood flow in both men and women, suggesting improved responsiveness and physical readiness. I remember one patient, Susan, 72, who confided in me during a checkup. "I still want to feel close with my husband," she said, "but my body just isn't keeping up." We added a small handful of pistachios to her lunch routine, and over the next few weeks, she noticed a subtle but meaningful change: increased sensitivity, more lubrication, and a renewed sense of connection with her body. Pistachios are more than just a snack, they're vascular allies, and their benefits go far beyond intimacy. They also support healthy cholesterol levels, reduce inflammation, and may help stabilize blood sugar, which becomes increasingly important in our later years. Just like walnuts, pistachios are easy to incorporate. No prescriptions, no regimens, just a smart, natural choice that nourishes your circulatory system from the inside out. But we're not finished yet. There's one final nut I want to introduce. This one is a little harder to find and often overlooked, but in my experience it may be the most powerful of the three because it works where so many women need help. Most your hormonal balance, your thyroid, and your natural energy production. We'll talk about that in part 2, and how a single daily nut can quietly support your mood metabolism and even your glow. Stay with me. The third nut in this powerful trio is one you may not be familiar with, but I believe every woman over 60 should be. It's the Brazil nut. And while it may not have the name recognition of walnuts or the everyday appeal of pistachios, its role in supporting your hormone health is nothing short of extraordinary. Brazil nuts are the richest natural food source of selenium, a mineral that your body needs in small amounts but cannot make on its own. Selenium is especially vital for your thyroid, the butterfly-shaped gland at the base of your neck that controls your metabolism, energy, mood, and even how warm or cold you feel. As we age, thyroid function can become sluggish, leading to fatigue, weight changes, hair thinning, mood swings, and even intimacy challenges. According to the National Institutes of Health, adequate selenium intake helps your thyroid produce hormones efficiently and protect itself from inflammation. Without enough of it, the entire hormonal symphony of your body can begin to fall out of tune. That's where Brazil nuts step in. Just 1 or 2 Brazil nuts per day can supply your body with a healthy amount of selenium. That's all it takes. And yet this tiny habit can yield powerful shifts in how you feel throughout the day, from your energy level to your emotional steadiness to the way your skin glows. I'll share a story with you. Diane, a 66-year-old retired schoolteacher, came to see me with a very common concern. "I don't feel like myself," she said. "I'm sleeping fine, I'm eating well, but I just don't feel present. I'm low on energy, and my desire's almost gone." When we reviewed her diet, it was clear she was missing one important piece: selenium. So we added 1 Brazil nut to her breakfast routine, just 1. Within a few weeks, Diane started feeling more alert. Her mood lifted. She had fewer of those low-energy afternoons that used to drain her. And gradually, her sense of connection to herself and to her partner began to return. The key here is consistency and moderation. Too little selenium doesn't give your body the support it needs, but too much can be harmful, so more is not better. That's why 1 Brazil nut a day, maybe 2, if they're on the smaller side, is the sweet spot. Together, these three nuts, walnuts for circulation, pistachios for vascular response, and Brazil nuts for hormonal balance, cover the three pillars of vitality in women over 60: blood flow, physical responsiveness, and hormonal harmony. But what happens when you bring them together? One thing I've learned from working with women for over 3 decades is that the body doesn't heal in isolated pieces. It responds best to synergy, to small elements working in harmony. And when you consistently eat these three nuts together, they begin to complement and amplify one another in a way that your body can truly feel. Let me introduce you to Brenda. She was 71 when she first came to me, and she'd tried it all: supplements, creams, books, even different diets. But nothing seemed to stick. "I'll try walnuts for a few weeks," she told me. Then I stop. Same thing with pistachios. I never see a difference. So I made a simple request: try eating all three: one Brazil nut in the morning, a handful of pistachios at lunch, and a small portion of walnuts before bed. Do it every day for 21 days. Nothing more. When Brenda came back 3 weeks later, her energy was noticeably different. "I feel lighter," she said. "Not just in my body, but in my mind. I'm sleeping better. I'm laughing more. And my husband said I seem more present." That word present is what stuck with me. Because this isn't just about boosting hormones or circulation. It's about helping you feel more fully alive in your body again. Think of it like this. Walnuts help open up the pathways. They improve blood flow, nourish your brain, and keep your heart strong. Pistachios fine-tune your responsiveness, enhancing sensation and connection in the moments that matter most. Brazil nuts work behind the scenes, nurturing your thyroid and hormonal system to create steady, sustainable energy. It's a full-circle approach to aging, one that doesn't require medication, doesn't disrupt your routine, and most importantly, doesn't ask you to change who you are. Instead, it supports the vibrant woman you've always been, one day, one bite at a time. But even the most well-designed routine can be quietly undermined by one critical mistake. And it's something I've seen far too many smart, strong women fall into without even realizing it. Let's talk about that now so you can avoid it and truly begin to thrive. What's the biggest mistake I see women over 60 make when it comes to their health? It's not skipping exercise or eating the occasional sweet treat. It's something deeper, more subtle, and much more damaging. It's giving up. Not loudly, not all at once, but quietly, slowly. It starts with an excuse. Maybe this is just what happens at my age. Then a little resignation. I guess I'm just not meant to feel that way anymore. And finally, acceptance. This is probably the new normal, but that mindset, that slow, silent retreat from your own well-being, it's the biggest barrier to lasting vitality. I once spoke to a woman named Helen, 69 years old, smart, independent, and full of wit. But when it me, I don't know what's different, but I feel like I'm participating in my life again. That's the real transformation. Not just how your body feels, but how you show up for yourself, how you move through the world, how you see possibility again. Aging isn't the enemy. Giving up is. In part 3, I'll walk you through exactly how to make these 3 simple foods part of a sustainable daily routine. One that supports your energy, your confidence, and your sense of connection. No confusion, no overwhelm. Just a clear, nourishing rhythm you can return to every day. You deserve that. Let's build it together. When it comes to creating lasting change, the most effective habits are the ones you can actually stick with. Not because they're revolutionary or dramatic, but because they're simple, meaningful, and repeatable. That's why I always recommend a daily vitality routine, a gentle rhythm of care you can build into your day without stress or sacrifice. It centers around 3 foods you now know well walnuts, pistachios, and Brazil nuts. Each one supports a vital part of your health, but it's the consistency, not the quantity, that makes the biggest difference. Let's walk through a routine I often share with my patients, one that fits effortlessly into your morning, midday, and evening. I call it the 3 Touchpoints. And the best part, it takes less than 5 minutes a day. Morning 1. Brazil nut. Start your day with a quiet act of support. One Brazil nut in the morning delivers the optimal amount of selenium your thyroid needs to regulate hormones, protect your energy, and keep your metabolism running smoothly. I often suggest pairing it with a glass of water or taking it right after brushing your teeth. It's small, easy to remember, and becomes a powerful statement that says, "I'm supporting myself from the inside out." For women dealing with fatigue, brittle nails, mood dips, or weight that doesn't budge. Despite effort, this single step can gently restore hormonal balance over time. The thyroid touches nearly every system in your body, your brain, your heart, even your skin. And Brazil nuts offer one of the most natural ways to nourish it. Midday. A handful of pistachios. By late morning or early afternoon, many women notice an energy dip. That's the perfect time to reach for a small handful of unsalted pistachios. About 1.4 cup is all you need. Pistachios help stabilize blood sugar, reduce inflammation, and improve vascular response, all of which contribute to physical energy and sensual readiness. They also make an excellent snack that satisfies without spiking your blood sugar, which is important as your metabolism changes with age. Many of my patients tell me that adding pistachios at lunch helped reduce cravings, cleared brain fog, and improved their ability to stay alert through the afternoon. And because pistachios are rich in plant sterols and heart-healthy fats, they quietly support your cardiovascular health in the background, setting the stage for better circulation and more vibrant physical response. Evening, a small handful of walnuts. Finally, about an hour before bed, finish your day with a small handful of walnuts. These nutrient-dense nuts support overnight blood vessel repair, help reduce inflammation, and may even aid in preparing your body for restful sleep. Walnuts also contain melatonin, a natural compound your body uses to regulate your sleep cycle. That makes them a calming, supportive choice as you wind down. But perhaps most importantly, they continue to fuel your body's ability to maintain open, flexible blood vessels, key to mental sharpness, emotional resilience, and sensual health. Many of the women I've worked with describe this part of the routine as something more than nutrition. It becomes a signal to the body you are cared for. You are supported. Altogether, this routine takes just a few minutes, yet delivers support across the systems that matter most: thyroid function, cardiovascular health, blood flow, and hormonal balance. But remember, the key isn't doing more, it's doing the right things with care and consistency. I've seen women transform their sense of vitality simply by honoring their body with these 3 small gestures each day. Not because the nuts themselves are magic, but because they nourish the systems that allow your natural radiance to return. They remove the barriers your body has been facing, barriers like sluggish blood flow inflammation or hormonal misalignment, and allow your true energy and intimacy to re-emerge. This isn't about chasing youth. It's about stepping into your life fully, joyfully, and confidently right where you are. And yet, even with the right daily practice, so many women never begin. Why? Because they don't believe they're worth the effort anymore. I want to talk about that next. Over the years, I've sat across from countless women who come to me with more than just physical symptoms. They come carrying years of self-doubt. Some whisper things like, "I just don't feel desirable anymore." This is what I call quiet resignation, and it's one of the most common emotional challenges women face after 60. You may not feel it every day, But it shows up in small ways, skipping meals, avoiding mirrors, setting aside joy or sensuality as something you no longer need. But here's the truth, one I want you to hear, not just with your ears, but with your heart. You are still very much worth caring for. You are still allowed to feel beautiful. You are still capable of reconnecting with your body. And you are not broken. Your body has simply been asking for support in ways that often go unheard. One woman I remember well, Joan, was 74 when she began her journey. She had lost her husband a few years earlier and told me, "I'm just going through the motions now." But something in her wanted to shift. So we started with the 3 nuts. That's it. Weeks passed. Then one day she walked into my office, smiling, really smiling. "I'm not saying I'm a different person," she said, "but I don't feel invisible anymore." That word invisible breaks my heart. Because far too many women have internalized the idea that aging means fading. But I'm here to tell you, you don't have to fade. You can reclaim vitality without chasing impossible ideals. You can nourish your body without judgment. And you can feel pleasure, energy, and confidence at any age, because those things were never reserved for the young. They were reserved for the cared for. In part 4, I'll help you anchor everything we've discussed with a gentle reflection and a message of hope that I believe every woman deserves to hear. We'll also explore how these daily choices ripple into deeper areas of your life, relationships, sleep, and self-acceptance. Because healing isn't just about your body, it's about coming home to yourself. Let's take a moment to reflect gently and honestly. You've learned how 3 simple foods, walnuts, pistachios, and Brazil nuts, can nourish the parts of your body that aging tends to challenge: your circulation, your hormonal balance, your physical responsiveness. But beyond the nutrients, beyond the routine, something more profound is happening. You're remembering how to care for yourself again. And that changes everything. When I sit with my patients, women in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, the conversations often begin with physical concerns: fatigue, low desire, feeling emotionally flat. But what I've come to understand is that beneath those symptoms is often a much deeper feeling, one of loss, of identity, of sensuality, of the version of yourself that once felt vibrant and seen. But here's what I want you to know. That version of you still exists. She hasn't disappeared. She's just waiting for the nourishment, both physical and emotional, that allows her to re-emerge. When you eat 1 Brazil nut in the morning, it's not just selenium you're giving your thyroid. You're saying, "I matter. My energy matters." When you reach for pistachios midday, you're not just supporting vascular health. You're reminding yourself that sensuality doesn't have an expiration date. And when you end your day with a few walnuts, you're not just helping your heart, you're offering your body a good night's rest, one it deserves. This is the rhythm of restoration. It's not about doing more. It's not about fixing something broken. It's about reconnecting to the woman you've always been, with gentleness, with intention, and with deep respect for what your body has carried you through. Let me tell you about Margaret, one of my longtime patients. She was 76, fiercely independent, and had spent years taking care of others, children, grandchildren, her late husband. But somewhere in the process, she'd stopped taking care of herself. When we first spoke, she told me, "I don't recognize myself anymore. I feel dull." We didn't start with prescriptions or procedures. We started with 3 nuts, 3 small choices repeated every day. At first she laughed. "This is too simple to work." But within a few weeks, she was walking more, sleeping better, making eye contact again. When she came in for her next visit, she was wearing lipstick and earrings, something she hadn't done in years. "I feel like someone switched me back on," she said. That's the power of consistent, nourishing care. It's not flashy, it's not complicated, but it's real, and it's available to you. As we close, I want to leave you with this thought. You are not past your prime. You are not invisible. You are not too late. You are in a chapter of life that holds just as much potential for joy, intimacy, and connection as any that came before. But to access that, you must choose to show up for yourself, not someday. Not when you feel ready, but now. With small, intentional acts of care. With food that supports your biology. With habits that honor your spirit. And most of all, with a share it with a friend, a sister, a mother, someone who may also need a gentle reminder that their body still wants to feel good, that their health still matters, and that their joy is not behind them. And if you feel moved, leave a comment below. Tell me which part spoke to you. Tell me you're starting today. Or just type "I'm ready." Because once you decide that you are worthy of care, everything begins to shift. Thank you for spending this time with me. I'm Dr. Lisa Perriera, and it's been my privilege to walk this path with you. Stay well, stay nourished, and above all, stay vibrant.